On June 11th, 2026, the biggest sporting event on the planet will kick off. Not in New York, not in Los Angeles, but in Mexico City. At the Estadio Azteca, 87,500 people will watch the World Cup opening match. And the first team to walk out onto that pitch carries the weight of an entire nation on their backs. This is Group A, and this is where the tournament begins. Group A has 4 teams, 6 matches, and one massive storyline. Can Mexico finally end the curse? Mexico are hosts and clear favorites. South Korea brings a 38-year World Cup streak and one of Asia's greatest players. South Africa is back for the first time in 16 years with nothing to lose. And Czechia won 2 penalty shootouts in 5 days just to get here. On paper, Mexico should walk it. But World Cups do not follow the script. Before we continue, kindly like this video and subscribe to World Cup Moments for every group breakdown, every player story, and live match reactions all the way to July 19th. For 36 years, Mexican football has lived and died by the same result. Round of 16, gone, again and again. For 7 consecutive times, Mexico have been eliminated in their first knockout game. El quinto partido, the 5th game, became the white whale of Mexican football. In Qatar 2022, it got worse. Mexico crashed out of the group stage for the first time since 1978. This time, Mexico team plays at the Azteca in front of 87,000 of their own people. The same stadium where they reached the quarterfinals in 1970 and 1986, both times on home soil. Manager Javier Aguirre is back for a 3rd stint. He has won 2 CONCACAF titles heading into this summer. Raúl Jiménez leads the attack at 34 with 44 international goals. Hungry for more, and he's at the best club level of his career. Santiago Giménez of AC Milan gives them a second striker option that terrifies any defense. In goal, Guillermo Ochoa is appearing at his 6th World Cup. Only Ronaldo and Messi have ever done that. So now, the question is not whether Mexico get out of this group. The question is whether they can finally win the 5th game. South Korea have qualified for every single World Cup since 1986, making 12 consecutive appearances. And in 2002, on home soil, they did the unthinkable. They beat Spain and Germany on the way to the semi-finals. They remain the only Asian team to ever reach the last 4. Every South Korean squad since then has chased that ghost. Son Heung-min is 33 years old, confirmed as team captain 144 times, the most in South Korean history. He plays his club football at LAFC right here in the United States. He is 2 goals away to equal the all-time South Korea scoring record. But records are not why Son is here. He has described himself as the heart of this team, telling his teammates not to show bigger nations too much respect. He has carried South Korean football for a decade, and this, his 4th and final World Cup, is where he wants to leave his mark. Behind him, Kim Min-jae at Bayern Munich is one of the world's best defenders. Lee Kang-in at PSG provides genuine European class. South Korea are not here to make up the numbers. South Africa has had a dramatic 16 years absence from the World Cup. In 2010, South Africa hosted the greatest tournament on earth. They played the opening match, and the vuvuzelas rang from Johannesburg to Cape Town. Then they were gone. 16 years of silence. Like I said, their qualification story as dramatic as the World Cup itself. Disqualified for fielding an ineligible player, needing results to go their way on the final day, needing Nigeria to slip. They got every single break they needed. But now, Bafanas are back. Hugo Broos has built this squad almost entirely from the domestic league. 19 out of 26 players in South Africa. This is South African football built at home. Lyle Foster of Burnley leads the attack. Captain Ronwen Williams in goal is one of Africa's most decorated goalkeepers. The man who saved 4 penalties in one AFCON shootout. Let's be real, nobody is picking South Africa to win Group A. But in a group where 3 teams could finish second, one brilliant performance changes everything. And when you have nothing to lose, that is sometimes the most dangerous thing in football. Czechia almost did not make it here. After being beaten by the Faroe Islands in qualifying, they sacked their manager and brought in 74-year-old Miroslav Kubek, a man who took the job just weeks before the playoff rounds began. Tomáš Susek is the face of Czech football to millions of Premier League viewers. Powerful, a goal threat from midfield, and the engine of everything this team does. Patrick Schick of Bayer Leverkusen is the striker. 25 goals in 52 appearances, a Champions League winner, a man who scored one of the most audacious goals in Euros history from the halfway line. And Matej Kova, the goalkeeper who won 2 shootouts in 5 days and became a national hero overnight. Nobody is picking Czechia to top Group A, but they have already done the impossible once to get here. And in football, that kind of team is never as harmless as the odds suggest. In 2010, these same 2 teams played the opening match of the World Cup in South Africa. Now it is Mexico's turn to host. South Africa walks into their cathedral. For Mexico, anything less than a convincing win is a crisis. And for South Africa, a draw or a win would be the greatest moment in their football history. On the same evening, South Korea faced Czechia in Guadalajara. This match will likely decide who finishes second in the group. Whoever wins has one hand in the knockout rounds. Son versus Schick, 2 of international football's most clinical finishers. One of them starts the tournament with a statement win. But the match that could blow this group open is the June 18th match between Mexico and South Korea. If South Korea wins this match, then Group A belongs to no one. So who gets out of Group A? If Mexico advances as group winners, South Korea takes second, South Africa and Czechia fight for third. But here is the thing about Group A. It opens the entire World Cup, so whatever happens on June 11th sets the tone for everything that follows. If you still here, kindly subscribe to World Cup Moments for every group breakdown, every player story, and live match reactions all the way to July 19th.